Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Solana, taking a look at what's been going on with the price action and what I think is likely to happen next. Now, as I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. Really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe? If you tap the bell and select all the notifications, you will be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out. Link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Let's jump right down into today's video. Keep this one nice and brief. Just give you an update as to kind of what's going on with the technical analysis of Solana. So what we'll do is we'll jump down here into Solana paired up with USDT. We're looking at the 1 hour chart here, and Binance is our data source. As you can kind of see, we were dancing around the 50 EMA, that's the red line, and the yellow line being the 50 SMA. We lost these, and we are now finding them as resistance. This is a pivotal moment for Solana. What we are looking for here is closure above the kind of 50 EMA and 50 SMA to continue our moves to the upside. We are, in my opinion, still in the wave 4 positioning here. This basically means that we've moved down to equilibrium on the 200 EMA as support, but we should not cross down lower than our wave 1 high, which comes in at $48.88. If we do come down lower than that, that's going to break our structure, and we're not going to see the target of 66.45 to 70.77. Okay, that is the target range at the moment, but I think that's actually going to change a little bit, because the lower that we go with our wave 4, the higher that we have to go with the wave 5. So I'm just going to adjust this back up to the new target range, which it means we are targeting out $67.42 to $73.44. Okay, that's based on the existing low down here. So as long as we stay above the 200 EMA, I'm pretty confident in this move here. If we were to close below the 200 EMA and drop down lower than $48.88, then we are going to break this structure. We're not going to see this move to the upside, and instead we're just going to be breaking on down. And we can talk about more of what that might look like a little bit later. Now, internally, the structure here is quite interesting to me. If we measure the distance of our first pullback to this bounce right here, you can see that we fall right inside the 1 to the 1.236 structure right here. So nothing unusual from that point of view. It is a simple 3-wave corrective pattern, just like A, B, and C, for example. We do have a 3-wave pattern also internally inside that C wave structure. If we go ahead and measure this one and pull that over to here, you can see that we come down a little bit deeper than its 1.236. It comes down close to the 1.382. This means that we still might find a WXYXZ pattern here and retesting some of this existing lows around equilibrium. Okay, so potentially we'll get a rejection here on these EMAs and SMA, and we might have to come back down and retest these existing lows. To be honest with you, this looks like a pretty good place for a long position. So if you were able to kind of get in right down here at the bottom, you'd put your stop loss, at least I would anyway, I'd put my stop loss at 48.88 or lower. So in this case here, 48.65. And my take profit would be all the way up here, giving me a nice risk reward ratio of 6.62. Now, if I am to go and use some leverage-based trading, I'm going to be doing that on 𝗕𝗃𝗃. The affiliate link is in the description below if you have not yet signed up, but it is my go-to platform. It is the fantastic platform that I use for pretty much 90 to 95% of all my trades at the moment. So well worth checking it out if you haven't done so already. There's some fantastic deals available as well. All terms and conditions and knowing the risks, etc., of what you're getting involved in when you do trade cryptocurrencies can be found in the description down below, and obviously on the platform itself as well. So just understand that if you do trade cryptocurrency, you can run the risk of losing your entire investment. Ultimately, though, this will be my approach to trading this one in a long position for Solana. I think there's going to be some pretty good gains to be made here, and I do think we're likely to revisit our area of equilibrium down here, 200 EMA, before we have this lift to the upside for that wave 5 high. So everything on the hourly chart's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Once, of course, we complete this wave 5 high point, we can, of course, see a very large moves to the downside, in my opinion. And again, this will be primed for a nice big short position as well. Okay, so you can trade this in both directions. Looking pretty good. Okay, take a look at the daily. So the daily, we are trying to get up ahead towards the 1.618. Okay, this is what we're looking for. We're wanting to kind of create a 5-wave pattern here for Solana. Okay, this wave 5 pattern will essentially be a very impulsive break for Solana, and we'll see this as a fantastic run on larger time frames. Okay, so here we can see the stochastic RSI is correcting down quite nicely on the daily. This is going to allow us to head out towards that 76.91 in my opinion, and so we can see maybe that we're in a wave 4 here before we have that final 5th wave higher. Now on that smaller time frame, that 5th wave high is falling short of that target range. So we're looking for an extension here if possible, because what we're looking for is 76.91 or higher. That's going to basically make this an impulsive break into the wave 3. We'll have a correction and then we'll push up into our wave 5. Now all of this, of course, is going to tie in quite nicely with what's going on down this side where we had the $8 low. And so looking strong for a reversal here for Solana. The bottom definitely looks to be in my opinion. You can see here that this 5th wave would then target out $92.57 or higher, and then that's going to allow us to look at this thing as a complete impulsive trend move to the upside like this. And then of course, once this is complete, we'll be looking for the bigger significant retracements back down, probably to the areas of consolidation that we saw previously. This will be considered a bit of a fake pump if you follow the psychology of the Elliott wave theory. So let me show you what I mean by all of this. Let me just find some empty space. Kind of spoke about this not too long ago, I think on the Chainlink video. Essentially, your wave 1 would consist of 5 waves, right? So it would look like this. And we are potentially right now on those smaller time frames, kind of tracking the little wave 3. Okay, and we're inside the wave 5 of the wave 3 right there, right? And so what tends to happen is this whole entire wave 1 right here is considered a bit of a fake pump, and retail investors don't believe that, you know, it's all looking that great. Wave 2 is then a I told you so moment as it retraces down. And then, of course, institutional investors take you up into the wave 3. Retail investors miss wave 3. Basically, they start selling. Institutional level investors, whale investors start selling off wave 3. That brings in the wave 4. Retail investors are like, look, it's buy the dip opportunity. We can get in before it surges. So they kind of take this, and retail investors drive it into the wave 5. Okay, that's kind of the psychology of the 5-wave structure. So you can kind of see that we are currently tracking right down here, right in that little moment there. We have yet to complete the wave 1, which means we still have this progression to the upside. Of course, that rug will get pulled and people will start thinking it's just a fake pump. We're just going back down existing lows. And then, of course, they miss the opportunity to really get into the big wave 3. Okay, so that's kind of the psychology behind the 5-wave pattern as we see it. So as we can kind of see here, this is all the little wave 3. We've kind of show you that again, 1, 2, kind of up here for 3, 4, and then 5. And then what we want to do is we want to buy the wave 2. Okay, so we want to buy down here before we get that big wave 3 on the macro level scale of things. So it's great to see price moving up. We are not yet confirming any of this because we have to hit higher than the 1.618s. But for the most part, everything's kind of moving along quite nicely, and it's on that kind of journey. So I'm not concerned about anything. It's all looking pretty good. We still do have the buy the dip opportunity to come in the future. So we can kind of take advantage of trading this if we wanted to the upside a little bit. Just understanding we are to see some volatility here. Now, as we kind of come up into the weekly time frame, not a lot has really changed. You can see we are pushing back up again, just kind of finding some area of resistance at the moment, but again, it's not looking too bad. We can kind of see the 5-wave patterns a little bit easier here. 1, 2, kind of up for 3, down for 4, up into 5. All of that is going to then obviously be our wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. And then, of course, what that all means is a giant wave 1, down into 2 before we get into the next kind of, you know, bigger surges. So it's all looking okay. It's all looking pretty decent. We are in the overbought area on the monthly and the weeklies, so we do know that we are expecting moves to the downside. Our target range obviously is quite interesting here. I'm going to draw this in because it does kind of align. If we complete these patterns as kind of illustrated in today's video, then I do think we have the potential to be hitting these higher range numbers, $2,000 upwards towards $7,000. Obviously that is way too much, I think, on the $7,000 range, but the $2,000 $2,000, I think is something that we might be able to see here, depending on how this pattern plays out. If we do find ourselves with a big wave 1, wave 2, our wave 3 is going to be hitting up into this range before we have another bear market move to the downside and then another run upwards. Now, of course, it can be that we have a bear market for the wave 4, or alternatively, we just kind of continue this move upwards. It'd be interesting. The other alternative way of this is that we have it as an ABC structure, and we have an A wave going up, B wave coming down, and a C wave coming up here again, and we'll be looking at targeting out that $2,000 that way. Okay, so there's lots of different ways that this can play out, so interesting to see how this kind of maps over time, but for the most part, we have our target ranges. Everything's looking like the bottom is in. We've got good structures forming. We just need them to kind of confirm by hitting those 1.618 fib levels. Once all completed and dusted, I think we're going to be in a really sweet spot for Solana. So I think that's going to wrap up today's video. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.